Ta-da! There we go. Now it's working. And now you're not speaking.
Hello?
There
What?
you go. We
Am I
started.
speaking now? I know. Hello. I don't know what chinsu means.
It's a sauce.
Okay, is it a sauce you tried?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a sauce that we specifically didn't know what it was, like it was new to us, but we put it in the pho. And it was pretty good. It's like a
It was
fermented.
new to all of you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
okay.
even the token Vietnamese woman we went there with, she was like, I've never seen this before. So we tried it and it was pretty good. It was like a fermented chili.
Just dropped.
So everything about it was really good. I think it's very like a, if you like ramen broth and spicy broth, you'll like it. So not for you, but
Well,
it is filling, and I could definitely see how it would be very nice to have like on a cold winter's day. Cause soup, you know. What do you have on a winter day that actually helps you, food-wise?
normal food. I don't go out of my way to get something different. Actually, usually on a cold winter's day, I'm usually still having something peppermint related, usually something frozen peppermint related.
And that's how you get a cold. Anyways, okay. Been a while. I did the math. It's been 4 weeks? About a month.
It's been pretty much a month, yeah.
An unintentional break. But here we are. Here it was. Here I am. Here you are. Kind of.
Kind of.
I don't know. You said that you've had a lot going on.
I have.
I'm like, I'm here, but I'm not here. You know? Like I'm here.
You're still in Oregon mentally.
I don't even know if I'm there. I don't know where I am. All I know is I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
That's fair. I don't either.
But it's gotta happen. So, anyways. So weekly obsessions. This is for the most part, I guess it's gonna be a weekly obsession, even though it could be a monthly obsession if you really want. But in reality, this is just what I've been thinking about recently. It's both I'm obsessed with doing it and obsessed with the idea of doing it, because I feel like even when I do it, I don't feel like I'm doing it.
What?
I want to sleep in for once and not have something to do that day, because I feel like
I feel that.
what's constantly been happening is whenever I think, oh, surely this is gonna be my rest day, someone tells me something they need me to do that day, or it's something that I have to do that I forgot about, and so I'll be like, ooh, I can sleep in tomorrow, and then I have to wake up actually at like 9:30 to get ready to go do something.
Yeah, that's what this weekend kind of became, because I wasn't expecting, like at the beginning of the week, I wasn't actually expecting to go anywhere for the 4th. And then we had to go somewhere for the 4th.
Well, you didn't have to, regardless of what the wording was.
But then, well, I'm glad I'm glad D&D exists and everything. It's still a case of like, that's still some sort of obligation. And then there's this, which is also another obligation. So I can't just kind of like rot somewhere. And in a way it's good, because it means I can't rot somewhere. But also it
Sometimes
means
you just
there's
want to
expectations.
decompose.
Yeah.
Not decompress. Decompose. But other than that, because I feel like I haven't had a day to actually like just chill, and I'm still not gonna get those days in the upcoming weeks. But in the month-long time frame, I did not have nearly as many song things as one might expect. I only had like 39, which isn't a lot for me. But funnily enough, I would say the main standout one is one that isn't even one of the new 39 ones that I have. It's one that I have from like probably the beginning of the year that I had completely forgotten about, but when I was on my trip, it popped into my head and it was the only thing I could think of. It's this song called Blade Bird by OK Lou. OKLOU. And I learned that it's a song technically because she was pregnant when she made this song, and this song was about her future child. However, when I listened to it, because it had been on, like, replaying in my mind for the entirety, at least in the beginning of when I first went up to Portland, it for some reason popped into my head. And then when I was leaving, the day that we were leaving, we were getting on the plane, I was like, I'm gonna finally actually listen to it, because otherwise I've just been basically singing the melody in my head the entire time. And when I listened to it, I put it on the plane when we were taking off, and I cried. And I don't know why I cried, but it was, I don't know, it was just a weird moment. It's a very pretty song. It's not like a fast-paced dance or sex song, so you might actually like it.
Well,
but it has like a nice melody that has gotten stuck in my head for a decent amount of time now. Oh, and another question I had really quick. Do you know the artist Robert DeLong?
might Robert DeLong?
If you don't, I recommend at least checking out some of his music, because I feel like his music reminds me of like off-brand AJR. And I feel like you might like his music.
Featured on The Sims 25th birthday mix?
That I don't know. I just know what I know him for, and I know he came out with an album recently.
Doesn't look like I've heard any of his songs.
Well, then you can have fun
If I
with
hear
that.
a song that I like,
You won't stop playing it, and it'll be in a playlist somewhere.
no, if I find a song that I like, I usually at least like it, so that I can hear it again some other time. But I will listen to him. He looks familiar, but I can't tell you whether or not I've heard him.
Now you.
You haven't uploaded the last few
I know.
pod.
No, the
Okay.
last pod. It's not few. It's just one.
It is just one. I can't count.
I know. That's bad for
'cause I
your
was gonna-
job.
I was gonna like kind of see what my last D&D update was, because I can't totally remember
From
where
what
I
I
left
remember,
off.
it was the one where you were really excited because the really fun stuff happened.
That could have been any week.
But it was specifically 4 weeks ago.
Did I get shot?
Maybe?
Well, okay. We'll just assume that I didn't get shot. And I'll tell you about me getting shot.
We'll just assume.
So basically, we're still trying to find this Boniface guy.
Sure.
And so we ended up going to a carnival ground. Not carnival, festival ground. Because there's a festival for like the day of mourning, remembrance festival kind of a thing. For Yoshi's character. Where Yoshi character is from.
Where Yoshi character.
Where Yoshi's character is from. Which like is completely destroyed and everything. It doesn't exist anymore. And while everyone was kind of split up looking for this guy, Yoshi's character Felicity got cornered by, well, I say cornered, was confronted by these Warforged about them looking for Boniface, and kind of threatened my character, saying like, oh, if you don't want them to die, you gotta tell us what you want. And so we didn't have a lot of information to begin with, so we gave them what we had and everything, or Felicity gave them what they wanted, which was not a lot, and they said basically to stop looking for Boniface. And amidst all of this, Felicity had warned the group that, hey, these Warforged have their eyes on us, so be careful, lay low. And my character at that moment was on top of a roof, like looking out for anything.
I think I vaguely remember this.
Okay, yeah, so long story short then, I got shot because I was very covert. I got shot, and they had to rush to save me. They saved me, and it ended up with a one of the NPCs that's kind of been like kind of a part of our party named Lucius, who is part of the Syrian embassy, mentions like, oh, can your dragon mark house do anything to my character? And because my dragon mark gets changed, I'm like, I don't think they're gonna do shit. But my character decides, let's go try anyways. And so last week, my character went ahead and went to their dragon marked house, Enclave, which is House Lyrendar, and ended up meeting with the head of the house, and he saw their dragon mark and everything and was like, okay, cover that up, please, because he seems to have recognized it. And he gives my character a book that's literally titled The Book No One Talks About, and it has my dragon mark on the front of it. And it's like the first like 5 pages are just basically saying, if you don't have this mark, close this book or you will die. And then it kind of goes into what is kind of the mark, but also kind of not, because it doesn't really give any explanations. It just starts talking about how all the dragon marks have a similar like essence to them, basically, and that anyone who doesn't have the mark that I currently have, who learns about this, is killed. It's killed and dismembered.
This sounds more like an urban legend.
My character ain't risking it. My character's like, okay, what the fuck? And basically the last thing is like saying, okay, this is all the information we can really give you like this, and or the information that we currently have. So come to this plane of existence, and
Sure.
the fact that you have this book will show us that, like, what we need to know.
Log on
so
to
my
VFK.
And so my character's like, okay, now I gotta keep this secret now. I can't show people my mark anymore. Which, to be fair, they weren't really doing to begin with. And so then they get the lightning rail stuff. So, because that's the initial reason they were even there, is to try and get, like, who's gonna be on the lightning rail. And we end up going onto the lightning rail after the rest of the party ends up trying to, like, there's a small thing that happens where a guy is trying to, like, alert the Warforged, and we find out that the thing that he was given was going to blow up, but it didn't, luckily. And so we're like, okay, at least they know that we're probably still looking for this guy. And so we get on the lightning rail, and we're kind of just, we're riding the train, because that's what it is, basically just a bullet train. And there's a moment where a Warforged comes out into the car that we're in, and it goes to the storage cart next. But we're all trying to hide in various ways, and we have the 2 NPCs with us, Lucius and Arcadia, who are just, they're kind of there. They're more of like support, because we don't have a lot of beefier characters when we have fights.
It's always a lack of tanks. No one wants to tank these days.
We had a tank, and then she left the campaign.
No one wants to tank these days.
No one wants to tank these days. So we don't. So that's why we have like these 2 guys, and we're like, how does Arcadia and Lucius hide? And we were like, they just start making out.
Sure.
And it was just, and that itself was kind of funny, but it was like our DM was kind of describing the scene, and how Arcadia, who has said pretty much nothing this entire campaign so far, the entire time we've known her, not a word, and she just, like, apparently she grabs Lucius and just goes, "Take me to heaven, boss," and then start kissing him. And now top ship of the campaign. And we end up, something happens to the tracks further down, and we have to get off in the city called Rote for a little bit, which is actually the capital of this section of the map. And because they can't go any forward anymore. And so we have to get off on this area, and now we're kind of tailing the Warforged a little bit. And we follow them to this tavern, and we get a little bit of information that they kind of we were pretty sure, we don't have any concrete proof that this is the guy we're looking for, but these Warforged meet with some goblins and a hobgoblin, and they're like, we got the target, but we need our payment, everything like that, and there's some kind of like a disagreement, but we have an idea of where the guy's being held. So we go over, we're like, let's go get him then, see if we can do it before him, because they mentioned like, oh, that they're gonna try and grab him tonight. So we go and we get stopped by people, the Shadows of the Forest, basically a collection of druids and rangers and everything, and someone from another dragon-marked house, who is also Russian apparently.
I mean, if we've learned anything, that's your ideal kind of person.
It's kind of funny because our DM has said like he tries to make each race a different kind of like, almost like a different nationality, almost, where he gives each of them kind of a different accent usually, or some kind of identifying thing like that. And House Vidalis, that this guy is human, so I don't know if that just means humans are Russian, but I think it's very funny.
That could be true. Hi, Shani.
Hi, Jenny. But my character is kind of like, because they introduce themselves basically by killing a bird, for no reason.
Why is that the introduction?
It's complicated.
In front of like all of these nature people?
No, the nature people are the ones that killed the bird.
Then why, we don't know.
We're pretty sure like it was a bird that had been like magically bred and everything.
It was a bird made of bread?
No.
I can see why you wanted it to die. Feast
My
on the
character
corpse.
was upset that they killed it. Yes, this is the D&D update. But eventually we're like, okay, we kind of have a similar goal. You want these guys out of the forest. We want the person that they have. No, we want the person that these people are holding hostage. And so we go back to kind of their little camp. Our warlock satyr is having a time right now because of something apparently that we don't really know.
It sounds like you're all keeping secrets from each other.
We kind of are. Well, I think specifically the satyr is. Elias is more than anything. My character isn't trying to, but they've been thrust into a position where they have to keep secrets or else they die.
My fame.
And to be fair, our fighter, I just don't think he has. I think if we asked him, he would tell us, but I also don't think he himself really cares or knows.
Well,
he also wasn't there this past session, so
that's the real reason.
But we still were. But his mouse was still there. He has a pet mouse that is half the star of the show. But we go back to the camp, and this guy that we're going back with, kind of like seems to be like the head druid kind of dude named Casper. He's like, I'm gonna turn you into mice, and you're gonna go infiltrate. And while the rest of us attack from the front very loudly, and you let us know once you get the guy. And it's like, okay, cool. And he's trying to do the ritual, and it just doesn't work on our warlock. And it's the only little bit of we get is that that nature is upset with him for some reason, and we don't know why.
Littering.
Obviously Elias knows why, but we don't know. And so we're like, my character literally said to him, "Is like, we're talking about this afterwards." But now we get turned into mice, and now we ended right before we're doing our little infiltration mission.
Turned into mice.
We turned into voles, actually. There's a difference.
Are those?
But that's where we ended up.
Hold on, wait. Say what you got turned into again.
Voles.
Like VOLES?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, we were just talking about these things. We were just talking about voles. Because when we were over up at Kester's, she was talking about how they have like an infestation of not mice, voles. And we're like, what's a vole? And we had an entire conversation about what the hell a vole is.
See, I know voles because
I think it was.
I know.
Uh-oh, that killed one.
I know about voles specifically because of warrior cats.
Well,
they would hunt voles all the time.
They kind of just look like more round mouse.
More round is cuter.
Apparently.
What can I say?
They're closer to Peter Pettigrew.
What?
That's okay. You've never watched Harry Potter.
It's true. But as for actual weekly obsession, there's been a few over the course of the month. I joined another D&D group that we're gonna do sessions on Wednesday nights. And we're doing Pathfinder. So it's a completely different system, and it's apparently a lot more technical and a lot more in-depth. So that's something I have to learn. But I'm going to be playing an android magus. That's what I'm going to be playing.
Well, interesting. What's the story supposed to be? Is it like future-y?
No, it's a homebrew world. It's a completely.
And you're a homebrew girl.
Yes. The DMs have made this world completely from scratch, basically, and so they said, and the entire like hook of it is that we are all new adventurers joining this guild.
Isn't that always the hook?
Not always.
It's a very common hook that I've heard of, at least.
Well, yeah, but and like kind of the idea is that we are just gonna kind of be doing quests until a larger story unfolds. And it's meant to be kind of this long-term thing, and also like continue to build on the world, because this is a world that they've played in already quite a bit, and each campaign has affected the world. Like they have one of the DM's character, because it's 2 DMs, and one of the DM's character, I don't remember exactly. I think it was like some sort of cleric or something like that, but he died, and is now the new god of death, basically. Sure. And his name is Doug. So that's all that stuff.
How many people are you playing with?
There's 6 people in total in the group.
So a decent amount of turns.
Yes. And there's gonna be like between session like writing role-playing thing going on.
Wow.
So it's gonna be fun, I think. It's gonna be very fun, I think. And we've like done a couple like game nights with each other to kind of see how we all vibe and everything. So it's been fun. And I'm excited. We start officially on the 16th because our DMs are in the middle of a move. So, which is good because I still need to figure out certain spells for my character, because the thing with Pathfinder, there's a lot of fucking reading.
I think
there's
that's
a lot
just
of reading and
general.
figuring out. It's true, but there's so much. There's so many goddamn spells. It's ridiculous. So, that's something that's been taking up a lot of my mind. Art Fight started this week. And I literally just before the pod started, I posted my first attack.
Whenever you say it like that, it sounds so violent.
Well, that's what it's called.
I attacked someone in the street, publicly, in front of all their family.
And then I know... I've been listening to the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack a lot.
You and everyone else, man.
I
saw a tweet recently that was like, we need to talk, and it showed that I think Saja Boys was like holding the #1 K-pop boy group in America spot on Spotify for like almost record-breaking amounts. And I think the tweet itself was trying to like make fun of that people were into animated K-pop boy group, but I'm thinking, but this ain't new. Like both the animation as well as being into K-pop, like nothing about this is new.
People talking about how the fact that it's like, oh wow, an animated original story got so big and is such like it's kind of mainstream at this point. Wow. It's almost like we've been saying the entire time that we don't want live actions or reboots or any. We want original stories. Like
That's the issue though, because it's that on top of, I feel like there've been some original stories, but it's like a mix of not promoting and or no intrigue in the story itself. Like there's no ground in actual intrigue into it, in what the general consensus of the populace is interested in. Like it's always these kids movies that are geared towards children, but they're never interesting enough to catch the attention of other people, and then people are like, oh, I never even heard of this. Like it was never really promoted commercially or anything. Because there's been a bunch of like Pixar movies and stuff that they've tried to come out with, original ones at least, that I feel like people don't even know existed or came out, and then they're considered flops because no one even knew this was a thing. The entire
like,
animation is just interesting.
Recent Pixar movies. Elio came out. Haven't barely seen anything about Elio. Inside Out 2, that was pretty popular, but that was also a sequel. Elemental came out. I've seen some clips of it. I haven't seen it, but a lot of people blamed that it wasn't advertised well for why it kind of flopped. Lightyear, I've seen jack shit.
What is Lightyear?
I think it's about Buzz Lightyear. Go figure.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about Buzz Lightyear.
Oh, was that series that came out on Disney Plus?
It's a film. It's not. I don't think it's a series.
Oh well.
Yeah, no, it's not a. It's a movie. It's not a. But then Turning Red was very good. I like Turning Red.
I feel like that was the last one that I heard that was like really popular, and funnily enough, it almost dipped into K-pop territory.
It did. It was, and that was, but it was also very good. But a lot of people also didn't really like it. But it was like, yeah. Luca. I never saw Luca. I've heard mixed things about Luca, but again, didn't really get a lot of. Yes. Also didn't really get a lot of traction because it wasn't advertised a lot.
I saw a lot of fan art of it.
Soul, similar thing. I saw Soul. Soul made me cry. It's so good. Onward, kind of again same thing. I liked Onward. I thought it was very fun. And then you're going into like back to 2019 of like Toy Story 4. I saw that in theaters. Incredibles 2, haven't seen that, but I know it was pretty popular.
It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't good.
Well, and then you get to like Coco. Coco is really good. And then you get to like starting to get things like Cars 3, Finding Dory, all that stuff. And it's just like a lot of it, yeah, they just haven't been advertising them, and then they blame us like, see, no one likes this new custom, like they don't like the original animation, and it's like, no, you aren't telling us what basically any of it's about.
I mean, have you seen the live action stage?
No, and I have no interest in doing so.
Did you hear someone died? Not in the actual Stitch movie, but the guy who played the guy with the ice cream. You know who I'm talking about.
I know the character. I don't know the guy.
Well, no, you don't know the guy, but the guy who played him, he died a little after the movie was released. Just thought you ought to know.
Well,
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I have no interest in seeing.
I can't think of the last like animated film I watched from Pixar in the movie theater anytime recently.
I mean, I saw Inside Out. We saw Inside Out 2 in the movie theater.
Yes, but that was months ago at this point. Months.
Yeah, that's still probably the last one that we saw.
Yeah, but comparatively, I just find it surprising.
The last movie I saw in a theater was the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
And that was hot garbage.
I don't know if I would ever, see that again, but I would watch the Jennifer Coolidge supercut. I think that's about as far as I would go.
Well, Months told me that was a year ago. Yeah, you said months, and I'm like, I think it was more than months ago. But okay.
I always over or underestimate. Because time is a construct of which I have no basis in reality of. Many things have happened many moons ago that I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's just never there hasn't been as much intrigue for animated films. The only animated film that I can think of that I actively wanted to see was an anime one. And the sad part is it was a BL anime one that I think already came out by now, but I've been waiting for it to like either get subbed or dubbed so I can watch it. But comparative to how the last one was in the series, I don't know if it's gonna be any good. Because the last one was a lot of hot, confusing garbage and didn't make any sense. Rose knows what I'm talking about. I know she knows.
One of the interesting things that I've seen also be discussed regarding K-pop Demon Hunters is that how people are like queer people are saying that they forget that a lot of straight people aren't used to having kind of a doomed narrative with their romantic interests and everything, with like their romantic love stories, because they're so like I've seen people like we're so used to like our romantic interest and love stories being cut short or being doomed, kind of a thing, that people were saying it was entertaining watching straight people kind of like crash out regarding like they didn't even get to kiss, kind of a thing, in regards to like Rumi and Ginu. And so I think that was also kind of interesting.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure the last thing that I saw of someone talking about it was like, I'm gonna die on this ship, and I'm thinking it's not like a controversial ship or anything. It's more like, and besides,
yeah, no,
haven't there not always, but I swear I heard something along the lines that there's talks for something else coming after it, either a continuation of the story or in the same universe that might do something.
No, I haven't seen anything like official.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did, considering how popular this has become.
I think it gives the opportunity for a sequel or a series. I think both have a potential. But you would have to have the same people writing and at least a similar animation style.
I keep seeing concept art come up on my feed of like early iterations of certain characters, and apparently the manager used to have a Chad version of him. And I haven't seen that. I think the person who had made the concept art was like, I forget that he originally was gonna have a hot version, and all the comments were like, what do you mean was gonna? He is hot.
I mean, we love a supportive king. I've seen a lot of people talking about how like Bobby was actually an idol before this, but like he didn't get very successful, and so now he's the manager that he would have wanted, kind of a thing.
I'm sure this has already sparked plenty of fanfics that Faye has probably already read a decent amount of. I'm scared to think of all of the different pairings. But yeah, I mean, I've even had certain people start talking to me about it, asking if I liked it because they knew that I was into K-pop, and so they automatically were like, you must have watched this. And they're like, well, did you like it? And I was like, yeah, it was fun. And they're like, I thought it was amazing. The soundtrack is so good. Like, they're very emphatic about it. It's a lot of straight people. A lot of straight people are really excited about this. And I don't necessarily get why they're that excited about it. But, you know, I'm happy they found something during Pride Month to keep them going. But yeah. So now you should make your own K-pop group OCs, Sarah.
I'm good.
Go on, do it. We all have to at one point in our lives.
Do we?
Mm-hmm. It's a canon event.
I don't think it is. Maybe for people who are more into K-pop.
No, even the people that aren't. Hi, Mikey. It's been like a month. Welcome to hell. We've been here for a long time. Anyways, okay. So we have two methods of going forward here. I'm talking to you, Sarah.
Okay, figured.
Do you want to go or do you want me to go? We leave the stream. We just leave the stream. The other person's the only one there.
You can go. You can go.
I don't think mine's gonna be too bad. Because honestly, it's mainly just, I mean, it's a multitude of things, but partial work, mostly Portland. So I am stuck doing something that I don't like doing. In terms of, I am specifically stuck on a team that is organizing an event. And I've been stuck on this team. I don't know why they put me on this team, nor why they thought I should be on this team. Because the way it seemed is the main person that is leading this entire extravaganza specifically wanted me on this team to plan this event, to help plan and organize this event. I don't know. Maybe because she thought, oh, new blood, get them while they're young. If the fresher, the better. Like, I don't know what the thought process was. But I have basically, you know how I am very much a, if I'm learning to do something for the first time, I'm a hands-on person if I'm going to learn how to do it. Basically, none of this has been that. It has all been hearsay of what might be happening and could potentially be what my role is in all of this. And so I have been told multiple things over the period of multiple weeks at this point for this event that's supposed to be happening in October, mind you, that I can help with. I've been told these are things that I could help with, not told how I can help with them. Kind of just said they spoke, it felt like I've been spoken at and not with, where they're like, you can do this, and I'm like, oh sure, but I don't know what that means. And I feel like that's how it's been this entire time. And I have a quote-unquote task that I wrote down that I don't know what it even means, and I'm probably gonna ask about it or ask for some kind of context, because we have a meeting coming up this Thursday for it, of which I am one of like 4 people that have never done this before, and I have all of the other 3 people have either volunteered or been volunteered to do something, because I have not specifically picked anything in particular, as I don't know what the fuck any of it means. So that's been going on and will keep going on until the end of my life, essentially. But last week, 2 weeks ago, technically, it's already been that long, 5 years apparently, went up to see Kester get married publicly. They were already married. That was a trip. I tried so many different foods. I had so many different drinks, so much coffee, so much tea, mostly coffee. But that's Corey's fault. Oh my gosh, that's something that you all will never understand. Only the OGs will know. The original FQK OGs will understand. I witnessed an in-person FQK reunion. And I took the pictures. And it was surprising. It was something that you don't realize until after the fact, because during the fact I was really stressed and then drunk. There was like no in between. It was either one or the other, because I can say, at least for vague parts, I was one of Kester's bridesmaids, essentially. and I was helping with various tasks here and there for the entirety of the wedding part. And for the entire first half of the wedding, as well as the before the wedding, I was basically always doing something. I also was the keeper of the room key. So everyone that ever needed to go back to the room to like change or something had to keep constantly coming up to me and asking for the room key. So, but you know, that got me to talk to a lot of people that basically didn't want anything to do with me. But yeah, and then I had to help with a hidden surprise cake. I had to give a speech. There was all kinds of things that were happening. I had to take photos, not professionally, but still photos. There was a lot to do. And then after the speech was done and I could finally chill, I took like 4 shots of something. One of them was tequila and one of them was whiskey. And I had Kester's specialty drink, which was something to do with Kahlua. It kind of just tasted like a coffee drink. And yeah, that was a fun time. There was so much that happened in what felt like a short period of time, but in reality, I guess it was multiple hours long. I think just when you're busy, you don't realize how much is happening, because there's a lot that happened. But yeah, and we got to hang out with Kester after, like days after. And we went around, went to Portland, all the weird, interesting places. We saw a lot of gay.
Love gay.
Lots of gay, random men shouting on the streets. Some random men shouting on the streets religiously. But they offered free coffee and lemonade for them to shout in your face, which Corey did not want to take up the offer. But yeah.
Well,
it was really fun. I am surprised that it was not colder, but then again, it's July. But there were moments where it was like chill. Like the first probably 3-ish days that we were there, it was relatively chill. And then as the weekend crept up, it got hotter. And the one day that we chose to do a mainly outdoor event, it was the hottest. And there was no cloud cover. It was just full on sun. But yeah, and there was so much dirt. We went to the Ren Fair and there was so much dirt. Kester got there in white Crocs and left with brown poop shoes. Like, it was really bad. I will say, however, I forget what it was called. It was like called Super Lemon or Yummy Lemon, something lemon. But we went to a store afterwards that had lemon in the name, and they specialize in lemon drinks. And they had this lemon slushy or icy, whatever you want to call it, that had like lemon jello at the bottom of it. And you know, after a hot day of sweating in the dirt, it was so refreshing. It was so refreshing. And then we got Korean fried chicken, which Corey was so excited about, and I was too. It was delicious. It was a very good last day to end on. And then there was a smell in the Airbnb, but that had nothing. Well, okay, so the Airbnb we stayed in was very nice, very beautiful, lots of nature, and I feel like they provided a lot of things that they didn't necessarily advertise as like amenities. Like they just gave a lot of free stuff for us to use and everything, and really clean, really comfy. However, on the well, there's 2 things. Because the way that we got into it, it's technically like the basement of a big house, like a rich person house essentially, because it was in a mountain. And the way to actually get to the entrance of the Airbnb, you had to go down these really steep stairs, which in theory it's like pretty, because sure, like there's nature, there's stuff. There was also sprinklers which made the stairs wet every morning, which made it kind of a hazard, but you know, we lived with it. But there was the stairs that made it not easy getting up or down fast. But then when we actually were in the Airbnb, everything was fine until literally the last day, where me and Kester had left to go get, I think, some Halo Halo. And when we came back, the minute I opened the door, there was this smell. What I can only describe as like a cheese smell. But like intense, stinky cheese. Like right in the entrance. And I looked at Kester and I was like, that wasn't here before. And it had only been Faye and Corey who had been in the Airbnb. So I was like, have you been farting again? And of course, no one fessed up to the smell. They thought it was the garbage. We took the garbage out. The smell was still there. Corey couldn't smell it at all. I think Corey has just been desensitized to all smell in general. But the only thing that we can think of, because it's nothing we had food-wise would have made that smell, even if it had been sitting in a trash bag. So the only thing that we can think of is that maybe it was the people upstairs who were making some kind of dinner because it was their house, and then that smell was wafting down into through like the vents or something. But yeah, it went away after that night. So at least there's that. But yeah. Oh, and when we were making it back, the day of our flights, because I got stopped in TSA because they had to look at my tarot card deck in my backpack because they thought it was something else. Me and Corey,
still understand that.
Me and Corey almost missed the flight back home. Because we were running across the terminal, and at this point Faye had already gotten in the line and gotten past the doors and everything for the flight, and as we're getting closer to the end, we hear them say the last boarding call for our flight, and we start like booking it because we're like, shit, this is not how we want to be left behind. And so we're running down to the empty end of the terminal, essentially, and they're like...
Imagine Faye just completely oblivious, like...
No, she knew, but I think they were keeping it open because she probably said something. And we just, like, ran. But, yeah. We made it. And you know,
Good.
At least comparative to the flight there, because when we initially flew to Oregon... because we had two connecting flights. We had one that was just going to Charlotte, and then from there we were going to Oregon. The one to Oregon, when we were going there, didn't have AC. When we first got on the plane, to the point where the captain was like, can everyone please close the windows so that the plane can stay cooler because the sun is making it hotter in here. And it didn't have AC or any kind of air until we actually got up into the air, and there was like air pumping in through the AC from outside, because apparently the auxiliary power had died on that plane or something, and so it was just a fun time. We had AC for the rest of the flights at least.
Like that shouldn't be
I don't know.
legal.
I don't know.
I feel like there's things going on with that.
I don't understand how that works. The flights didn't die. There was one, I want to say it was the one we had coming from Oregon to Charlotte the time after. It's either, was it that time? Yeah, it had to have been. Where there was like a lot of turbulence at certain parts of it where it felt like we were on a ride. Like, we were like bumping up and down and all of that. Which, you know, I was fine with, because I was like, this makes the flight more exciting, but other people maybe not so much.
Is one of those people where it's like, turbulence calms me down more than a smooth flight.
Well, also, I feel like what's worse is for the majority of the time, I only didn't sit in the middle one time. I sat in the middle for the rest of the 4 flights. And I was always, other than the last flight, in between people that I did not know. And so I was constantly just trying to keep to myself as much as possible. And I was always sat next to some kind of old lady. Always like that. And there was this one old lady on the first flight over to Oregon where she was talking to me about how there's not a lot of diversity in Portland. And I'm thinking, oh, really? How so? And she's like, there's a lot of white people. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, because I'm going to visit my son and he's gay and that's cool. And I was like, okay.
And that's when you said, so am I.
No, I thought the reason she was saying that is because she was like, she got that vibe from me or something. So she wanted to make sure that I knew she was an ally or something. And I was like, oh, cool. And then she was like, but yeah, you don't see many other like nationalities or like races. And I'm like, well, I'm going to like a gay Asian wedding. And she was like, that's rare. So it was just weird. But yeah, so that was fun. My entire trip. Had a lot of food, a lot of drink. Almost threw up. Only once. It didn't have anything to do with being drunk too. It had to do with being car sick. But yeah.
Had to do with the hot liquids.
There was hot liquids, there was cold liquids. There was just a lot of liquid in me. And then I was just in the middle of a back seat of a car with no seatbelt on, and it was just not a good time. And I specifically didn't want to say anything to either Faye or Corey, who I was squished up against, because I was like, if I say it, then I'm gonna puke on them. Like, that is what my mind was telling me. So I wasn't saying anything because I was like, we just need to get to where we need to go, and then once we're there, I can puke in a bush or something. I don't know. Because I didn't say anything until like we pulled into the parking lot of where we were supposed to go, and I was like, yeah, I need to walk around because I'm feeling really sick right now. And then they're like, oh no, really? What do you think it was? And, and I didn't say, but I was like, I've been sick this entire time. Oh, but yeah, I didn't throw up and I felt better afterwards.
Did you know you were in danger the whole time?
Well, did you know someone was gonna get projectiled on, and it could have been any one of you? Because there was so much fluid in me. But yeah, it all went well. And that's what happened with me.
There you go.
So now, Sarah, tell us about your fun times. Because I know I know you have multiple.
It's mostly work. More than anything, it's pretty much just work. Because for those of you who don't know or don't remember, I work in an HOA management.
Boo. The HOAs.
Which is fair. HOAs suck. I like my job simply because more often than not, I'm able to turn what is not really a fun experience or not really like just a good experience in general for people dealing with something that really sucks into something maybe hopefully a little bit more tolerable. Some people, hopeless. And my office alone deals with over 100 different communities. Which means I get a lot of fucking emails. And it's a case where there needs to always be, if I'm not going to be at the desk, someone needs to be there to cover me. Which makes stuff like planning when I'm going to be off kind of tricky. Because I need to make sure other people are there to cover me. So you can maybe imagine that just even getting sick can kind of be a bit of a headache.
Literally.
Because I need to make sure, oh, there's going to be someone there. And it's supposed to be a case of if there's no other admins there to cover me, the office manager is supposed to cover. But she hasn't barely been in the office at all because she got a promotion. I think we're getting a new office manager, so that might change soon. But she hasn't been in the office except for maybe one day a week. I don't think she's going to be in the office at all next week. So that itself is a headache. But I've been fucking drowning. Just in everything because I have to do so fucking much. Cause like, hold on. I have a list of things that I do. A non-exhaustive list includes helping anyone who walks in with whatever they need, which could quite literally be anything. It could take from 5 minutes to an hour. Managing 2 emails, my personal, and then also my receptionist one that gets usually an average of 20 emails a day. Process and upload architectural review forms, and some of them I need to print out and put in people's mailboxes. Process outgoing mail, which we get a lot of. Process incoming mail, which we also get a fucking whole metric ton of. Schedule and post office meetings. Manage various amenity access for 100 plus properties. Answer phone calls. Process incoming checks for various amenity access. Put together a weekly package that needs to go out to our corporate office. Process incoming vendor checks. Upload and manage various paperworks for all of the homeowner accounts so we can make sure they're all up to date so people have information. I need to manage clubhouse rentals. It's just so goddamn much. And I only make $17 an hour. I only make $17 an hour and I don't get any overtime. So the only time I'm there and can work is when I am constantly going to get interruptions from people coming in at random. And it is so fucking annoying because people keep telling me, you just need a time block. You just need a time block and organize your time better. I'm like, it's so fucking hard to do that when you have the possibility of a random interruption at any given time that can completely throw off your time blocks. It's just, And then pair that also with the fact that I feel like I'm the manager for like a few of the communities because some of the community managers don't do shit. And it's so goddamn frustrating. Because it's like, because I have people who are like, what is this doing? I'm like, it's this. It's satisfying to like come back from lunch and say, no, this is what you need. But it's also really fucking frustrating to come back from lunch. I've only been gone for an hour, and I suddenly have to fix 3 things that were done wrong in the time of me being gone. And it's difficult. And so I'm behind on emails, which no one's happy about. And I'm like, I'm the least happy about it. I still have mail I need to do when I get back tomorrow. And it's just like, we're trying to figure out ways to help me, but there's really no good way to help me other than give me more hours that aren't when we're open to try and catch up on this stuff. We're also going to be moving offices soon, and I would like to go through and get rid of a whole bunch of files that we have, like physical files, but I don't have time to do that. So guess what I'm not doing? But then we also get like fucking crazy people, like we did on Thursday, who came in. Maybe it wasn't Thursday. I can't remember even now. It was someone who came in. Yeah, no, it was Thursday. This person who came in on Thursday, and because you've heard this story, but I'm telling it again.
Here we go.
Thursday is like the main thing when she came in, but she had apparently come in earlier, and I'd given her Olivia's, Olive's. I'm gonna call her Olive now. Olive is a manager. I had given her Olive's card, and Olive didn't like that. Olive didn't like that I gave her card, and so I'm like, okay. Well, she wasn't leaving. She came in very upset about a gutter issue, and I'm like, okay, I need you to leave. I have a line forming. So I gave her the manager's card. And Thursday she came back, and she has pictures printed out because she could not figure out how to email them. So she gives me these pictures to hand over to the manager. And I'm like, okay. No, actually, no, she came in and she wanted to be the one to hand the pictures to the manager herself. Like, hand deliver them. And I'm like, I can see if she's available. She wasn't. And she was so insistent. She made me go back and check twice to see if Olivia would come out. I keep calling her what her name is. I can't be bothered. She kept wanting me to go check. So I'm like, I checked twice. The manager upset. Not wanting to deal with it. trying to deal with her own stuff. And she's also gonna be on vacation. She was gonna be on vacation Friday to Monday. She was taking Friday off. And so she was kind of like in I want to leave mode. And this homeowner, it takes forever to get her to leave. It takes forever to just tell her like, hey, I promise I'm gonna hand this over to her as soon as you leave. I got the notes that you wanted me to take, and like hand them over to her. And eventually she leaves, finally. And I do, I scan the pictures and I send them over to the manager, and they're in her mailbox for when she gets back on Monday. And it's great. Like, okay, I'm just chilling. 5 minutes before we close, this lady comes back in and starts fucking yelling at me. Like, why did I just get a email from the manager saying to send over any pictures? Like, did you like physically hand them to her when I left? And I'm like, yes, I did. I didn't, because there's no point. I was gonna scan them to her anyways. So but I said, yes, I did. I can guarantee, I got an email confirmation from her that she got them and that she sent them over to your board president. And she's like, well, then why did I get this? And I'm like, I don't know. It may have been a scheduled thing. And she's like, well, is she still? And I'm like, no, she isn't. She's already left. And it's just, we keep going back and forth, and I keep trying to tell her, there is nothing else I can do for you. I have confirmed with you that she has received it. Anything going forward, I can't do anything about
And you
that.
have exhausted my patience.
Literally, that's where I was at this point. I was like, there's nothing further I can do for you. I have confirmed with you that everyone who has needed to receive it, received it. Like, and so she was like saying, well, I'm gonna come back on Monday when she's back, and I'm gonna sit and wait. And I'm like, okay, you do that. You do that. And I'd let the community manager know, and I said, hey, this is what happened. And the community manager was like, she can't keep showing up like this, and stuff like that. Move on to the next day, which is Friday. And I'm sitting, I'm getting some stuff done, and we don't actually, usually Fridays are pretty bad, and this Friday wasn't that bad, surprisingly. And it gets to be like around 9:30 to 10, and this lady's back, and I'm just like, mentally, I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me? What do you want now? And she's like, I wanted to apologize, because it was very hard on you. And the board president came to my door last night and told me everything that you just told me. And I even asked her if there's such a thing as scheduling a message, and she said that she thought so, and she's like, I'm sorry, you did everything. And I'm like, I appreciate that you apologized.
But I hate you.
I'm still fed up with her, yes. But it's just like, oh my god, like, you confirmed that you did not believe, you confirmed that you thought I was lying to you about this. Like, dear god.
It's always typically old ladies, Mikey.
She was like between 60 and 70. I don't know her exact age, but it was so frustrating. And it's gotten to a point where, because I usually am like, when it comes to people like that, I'm more often than not gonna be like, do my best to appease them in any way. But it was like, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, no. Here's what you can do. Here are your options. If you want something else, then you're gonna have to contact someone else, because there's something else I can do for you. I'm just the receptionist. And I keep telling people like, hey, this is what I do. And it's just, it's so goddamn annoying. People think I can fix all their problems for them, which I can't. And then people I work with get annoyed or don't seem to understand why I'm so behind when I'm getting a million different things that I need to do every day. And I still really like my job. It's still my favorite job I've ever had in comparison. Except the captioning job was pretty nice, because I did get to like play video games during it. But I do enjoy this job. I think it's very fulfilling work. It's just, it's the way it is, it's not sustainable right now. And also compared with especially when you consider the fact that the amount of shit I'm doing, and I'm not making enough money to live on my own. Like, that's kind of bullshit, I think.
Yeah. Then again, I feel like that's always what ends up happening, especially now from what you hear of all the even entry-level positions in any job market, that they're like, they expect you to do XYZ plus whatever they don't mention initially, and you still get the exact same pay. That's not enough to sustain you by yourself in any situation.
It's so, especially I'm the youngest one there. I'm the youngest one in the office. I'm also the one who absolutely makes the least amount of money in the office. To be fair, a lot of people in the office are married. So there's some sort of dual income usually with most people. But it's just, there's a level of people not understanding. There's a level of people being like, why aren't you able to keep up with this? Or why is this an issue for you, kind of a thing? And it's just like, I'm sitting here like, I'm not salaried. I don't get to make my own hours. I don't get to even work remote, unlike everyone else in this office. Everyone else in this office has an option to work remote. I do not. I have set hours that I can work. And I do not make nearly enough for the amount of shit that I put up with. I mean, for Florida? Yes, I'm pretty sure, because isn't the minimum wage in Florida like 15?
It's around, I think 50. It might be slightly higher than it now, but it's still around that.
It's $13 right now in Florida.
Then it went down. It used to be
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that went down. Yeah, the minimum wage in Florida is $13. I make $17 an hour. I better get a fucking raise though, dear God.
I mean, do you trust them to recognize your efforts?
If they better.
So that's a no.
I don't know. It's hard for me to tell right now, but it's also a case of I recognize my effort and I recognize my worth. Because if they decided that you're not be able to get this done, we're gonna fire you and we're gonna get someone else. I'm gonna be like, okay, bye-bye, and I'm not gonna look back because I know that they're worse off. And I have a backup and everything like that. Because I'm still working on my my CAM license and I'm still gonna get that. But it's just, if they got rid of me now, or if they tried to do something that basically made it harder to do my job or whatever, then they're the ones who are going to be suffering, not me. Community association manager, that's basically the people that I work with. They help run HOAs. They help manage and run HOAs. In Florida, you have to have a license to be a CAM. Which is not what it is in the majority of states. But in Florida, it is. And it's basically just knowing a lot of laws and HOA laws and everything, which is the hardest and most annoying part. But I'm basically a CAM at this point. Yeah, no, HOA suck. I know I would never live in an HOA if I could avoid it.
Inside an HOA.
What?
It made it seem like it's a thing to live inside of.
It kind of is. It's its own like little mini country. It's awful.
Honestly, I'm surprised. Granted, there might be, and I just haven't looked, but I'm surprised that there's not like some kind of horror game surrounding an HOA system. Because there's that one supermarket simulator.
Not an HOA.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
What?
Do they not have any kind of HOAs in Mexico, Mikey? Granted, it wouldn't surprise me, but also thank God. But in terms of
HOA
like
video game, and it's giving me something called HOA, and I'm like, that's not what I'm asking for.
HOA. HOA.
Owners Association video game. It's still giving me HOA.
Would you
Well.
say I am more of a parfum or a toilette person?
What?
We've been over this. The concentrations of perfumes.
I don't know the specifics about them.
Okay, so if a eau de parfum is about 15 to 20% of the fragrance oils, then a toilette is about 5 to 15%.
You're the second one, the 5 to 15%.
Wow. So you're saying I don't last long?
Okay, I didn't know that's what we were saying here. I was like, which ones
Speaking of
suit you
didn't
better?
last long, I had someone try and set me up to get me laid when I was up in Portland.
Yeah.
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 But you know, listen, wrong time. Different time? I don't know. We can only imagine. I can only imagine. We also did karaoke. Little did you know that Faye loves singing Love is an Open Door.
That doesn't surprise me.
Although she's very upset that her duet partner was Castor's wife. Yeah, we sung Hey Now, Dreams Are Made Of, Lizzie McGuire, as well as Hannah Montana, Everybody Makes Mistakes. I sung that.
Everybody makes mistakes. I haven't done karaoke since the cruise.
Granted, the karaoke we did was really weird in terms of we were worried about waking up someone's family because we were in their house doing karaoke in their living room.
Because
Yeah.
were you doing it like the Airbnb?
No,
Where? What?
we were doing it at Custer's wife's family's house.
Oh.
It was offered, let it be known. And we did hear that Eminem song. Me and Kester heard that one Eminem song for the first time, and we were both questioning the lyrics. But yeah, it was a fun time. Weird time, but fun time. I think what we should do is we should make our own HOA. What does it take to make an HOA?
A lot.
How do you know?
Because I'm studying it, bitch!
So, I'm sure it's relatively easy.
You need to have a certain amount of homes, you need a certain amount of income per home, so that you can actually, like, charge dues and everything. You need to follow specific laws, have a declaration and bylaws and all of that fun stuff. You need to have a certain number of people on your board. You need to be able to have elections to have the board. They need to actually be people in that, like, populating the area you want to have the HOA in, because if it's like an in development thing, that's not gonna fucking work. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot of bureaucracy. It's awful. Why would you want to make one?
Because then we get to be annoying to people.
I don't want that.
Every day,
I can be annoying on my own,
every
thank
day
you.
I wake up and I think, why can't I be annoying to someone and then charge them money for it? That's what I want. So who cares if it might take a bit of extra money and time to set up? I think we could do it.
Dear God, I don't think there's so many things that wouldn't work on this. Are we making an HOA? We can make an HOA in Minecraft.
You know, that doesn't ring the same because what are we charging money-wise?
Diamond.
Okay, but we could also just find our own diamonds.
We could also print our own money, I guess,
A
too.
lipstick. In my Valentino white bag. I mean, listen. Who is your top artist.
Like music artists?
No.
What? What are you asking me?
I'm asking you who's your top artist. Who's your top artist's favorite artist?
What do you mean?
Answer the question!
Artist you're referring to? What kind of artist? Like a painter artist? Like, what do you want from me?
Everybody's an artist if you think about it.
My favorite musician is AJR.
Interesting. I thought you would have picked a different person.
Who did you think I would have picked?
Not them. But then again,
I don't know what to tell you. They're the one person. They're the group that I always go back to for like things. Like I like a lot of others. Like I really like Amelie's covers and everything like that. But as far as like actual like people who I will wait for albums to come out of and everything is AJR.
I have some fun fact for you.
Some fun fact?
Fun fact. So you know how
What's the fun fact?
we have 4th of July.
Yes.
Canada has the 1st of July.
Yes.
It's Canada Day.
Yes.
That's my fun fact.
I have Canadian friends. I've known this.
My question is, you know what? I can look it up.
Okay.
I can look up when this happened. Oh wait, no, we won. I'm like, we won. Like it's a contest like that. I was looking to see which came first, July 4th or July 1st. And I'm not talking about in the order of the month, you little shit. I'm talking about the holidays. And yeah, it says that Canada Day was July 1st, 1867, as the anniversary of the Canadian Confederation. Whereas 4th of July, obviously, is the 1776 Declaration of Independence, blah, blah, blah. You know?
Yeah.
I'm sure our American ancestors would be so proud right now. Have you ever thought about that? Victorian children.
No.
Not even?
Not really.
I've often thought about the things that Faye reads, and like if you were to print that in a book and give it to a child in one of those schoolhouses, you know, that they always used to be beaten in, how would they like think about it, you know? Canada has a lot of stuff, Mikey. You should go there. I know it's pretty far from you. But you could just walk. Like, I think you could make it. Granted, actually, maybe not. Because, you know, I think the borders are kind of even in a worse state than they've ever been.
Yeah, it's not recommended, Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I haven't heard any fireworks going. Wait, Canadians don't know how to read? What? What? Little did we know. You have Canadian friends, Sarah. Did you know they all use text-to-speech?
No, a lot of the people from Canada are also like writers and everything.
They all just use speech to text. It all makes sense now. Have you ever actually looked back on your notes after you've done something like that and been like, what am I reading? And then you don't even remember like what the note was for because it's so illegible on what it's actually trying to say?
Like school notes? What notes are you talking about?
Like if you were to ever, for instance, like you don't have an iPhone, but like say, hey Siri, can you write a note? I don't know why I sound like a robot now, but can you write a note for like remind me to do my laundry when I get home? And then it says like bicycle unitrike 10 speed, and you don't know what that means. and then you forget what you actually were trying to write down, but you're like, clearly it was important enough for me to want to make a note for it, but now I don't remember what it is.
I have stuff like I'll ask she who shall not be named to set reminders for me, and I'll say, oh, set a reminder for 6 o'clock to do this, and it's like, okay, what time? And I'm like, 6 o'clock, and so I will look at it and be like, for my head it'll just be 6 o'clock, do this kind of a thing, and I'm like, thanks.
Well,
but I've had other times where it's like, what the fuck does this mean?
I feel like that happens
stuff on my calendar too, like that.
With the calendar, I'm always worried with a bunch of things on my calendar. I feel like there's plenty of things that I don't put on my calendar that I should. Or things that like I don't remember to put on my calendar. Yeah.
I need to make, because I've had car trouble. I didn't talk about my car troubles.
Go on. You have 5 minutes.
A speed run version. Last Monday, my car started not really blowing cold air, and so I'm like, we're in the middle of summer. I need cold air, especially because I usually eat lunch in my car. And so I'm like, okay, gotta.
Car.
No. And so I'm like, okay, I should go get this checked out. I was gonna go get it checked out like next paycheck, but I gotta go get it checked out now. And I had originally set it to get my car checked out like on Wednesday or Thursday. I guess it was, yeah, no, I meant to go get it checked out on Thursday. But on Wednesday, I'm driving, and my temperature light starts going off, and so my car starts beeping at me, and I'm like, okay. So I turn my car off and everything. And luckily, I had apparently misset my appointment for that day on Wednesday. I'm like, okay, great. And so after work, I take my car over to the car place, and I'm saying like, hey, my temperature light's going off. I want my tires rotated. If you can check my oil, because I have synthetic oil and I don't really know when I need to change it. And if you can check my brakes, kind of a deal. Those are my main concerns. And I sit there for about an hour while they're doing everything, and they come back and say, yeah, you're absolutely fine. Everything's perfect. I'm like, okay. I guess, was my car just getting really hot? And they're like, yep, your car was just getting hot. I'm like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go home, I guess. And so because I had plans to do things with the new D&D group. We were gonna have a game night. And so I get literally across the street, and my car starts beeping at me again, like the temperature gauge and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I pull off, let my car kind of figure itself out for a little bit, and then I have to drive back. There's also a giant storm rolling in.
Yeah.
And so I'm luckily catching them right as they are leaving. Like, there's 2 people. And it's the guy who I initially spoke to about my car, and then someone else. And so the guy who was initially helping me recognized me. He's like, hey, what's going on? I was like, hey, I got across the street. My car's going off again. And the other guy asked, like, hey, what did you come on for? And I said, my temperature gauge is going off. But then the other guy said, well, she came in for like AC check and brakes and tires and oil. And I'm
what's
like,
a C check?
AC.
Oh, I was like, what's a C check for a car?
That's AC check. And so he went and took like under my hood and everything. And I was like, yeah, there's coolant leaking. And I'm like, okay. And I told this guy too, because we were just out there alone, and I said, hey, I did say that my temperature thing was going off. And my tire pressure thing is still on, so I'm worried that not everything was checked. And so he says, yeah, first thing tomorrow morning, I will look at everything myself. And I'm like, okay. So I give him my keys, and he brings my car over into the garage. And I call your mom quiz to come pick me up.
Yeah. Mom quiz.
And yes, mom quiz. And I'm sitting there. The people have left by now. And like maybe a minute or two before your parents roll up to come pick me up, I realize, fuck, I gave that guy my keys. I don't have a way of getting into the apartment. So I'm like, ah, fuck. What do I do? And then as I'm getting into, because I'm at this point, I'm full on breakdown. I'm crying and everything.
As one does.
And I'm getting into your parents' car, and then I've also realized the office key is also on my keys, my keychain and everything like that. I don't have a way of opening the office tomorrow. And so I'm just like, I'm in tatters at this point. And your parents are like, let's go see if we can get Yoshi at the hospital to give you the key to the apartment. And so we go over there. I'm able to get the key. And I am able to get into the apartment and everything. I have game night, and then first thing the next morning, your mom comes to pick me up, and we ended up sitting outside of the car place for like half an hour because Google said it opened at 7. It didn't open till 8. And so we ended up sitting there for about half an hour until I could get my keys. And what basically was going on is I picked up my car after work, and they had to replace all of my coolant hoses. Basically, my entire coolant thing was all messed up. And there was some sort of contaminant in there that was messing shit up. Like, the hoses were like bursting and bubbling and all that stuff.
Oh.
And it looked like animal fat was in.
Ew.
It was disgusting, and like they even
Did
like
they
when I went to go
show
pick
it
it up.
to you?
Yeah, I have pictures.
Oh god.
Hold on, I'll send them.
No, I don't want to see.
I need you to. The thing is, they showed me it, and they brought it out to me too to show me. And they were like, "Yeah, even we don't know what this is."
So basically,
I'm
there's
like,
just a mystery fat in your engine.
Like, yeah, there was some sort of contaminant in the cooling.
Ugh.
I sent it. Yeah, they don't know what the fuck it was. And so I'm like, okay, so they had to replace all of my coolant hoses, which cost like $800. But it should be fixed now. They also took another look at like my tires and my brakes and everything, and they said everything's fine on that front, luckily. So I have new coolant hoses and everything.
For now.
And I've also now been informed that there in my car manual, there is like, it tells you when you need to get certain things checked out based on mileage and time and everything like that. And I'm like, that would have been great to know. So now I'm gonna put together a calendar of when to get certain things about my car checked out.
Yet another plan. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
there's always a plan. There's always
There's always a
something that's gotta happen. Why does everything need something to happen? Why can't
Off.
things just happen without me having to think about them?
I think I've said it before. Actually, I may not have said it before. If I could like pick a power, it would be the ability to be able to just think of something and have it be done.
But then at the same time, would that not get too easy?
Well, the thing is, it would be the option to choose what I would want to do. So if it's like, oh, I want to be able to put the effort in to like write this thing, but then it's like, if I need to go wash the dishes, it would just be done.
Wow. This explains a lot.
God forbid I not want to work.
Oh my gosh. It's fine. We're gonna have a normal week. We're all gonna have a normal week. Everybody say it with me. Say it in the comments. We're all gonna have a normal week.
Week.
No animal fat in the pipes. Everything's gonna be fine. Nothing can strike us
We're gonna
down.
be safe, and we're all gonna have a good time.
In my
What the Jesus Christ is that?
and I'm not gonna have cataracts, and it's gonna be great.
It'll be great.
And with that, I will end it here. I do plan on streaming on Wednesday. I think I might do a new game, and I'm gonna alternate between that and the Tokyo Ghost Hunter, because I got a couple of games on sale for me, and one of which I was like, this could probably make for an entertaining game to watch, but we'll see. But yeah. So I hope you all also have a normal week. And then next week, hopefully, we will have an episode that has a normal topic. Because we've had some that we wanted to do for a decent amount of time now. But yeah. Anyways. I will see you all next time. And Sarah will totally stream Persona 4.
No. Persona 4.
Yep. You're starting a new playthrough, baby. That's how it works.
No! No!
Bye-bye.
Bye!